Today we're chatting with the preacher. I'm the outsider. This is the dealer, and this is the podcast.
So when you started making these acquisitions, did you have any trepidation as to what it was actually going to happen, taking your system and applying it to another company, or did you feel very, very confident and it's just played out exactly how you thought?
It played out nothing like I thought. And the true reason for the acquisition really started in Cincinnati. And we've been trying to get our own facility for years, trying to buy one. And we couldn't find, anything of value. So we were going down. I told the president of my builder division, I said, call Phil, see if he's ready to sell his company. So he called. We went down the next morning. We're with our realtor looking at buildings. Phil calls. And so we finish our tour. We go meet with him. The reality is I wanted his building, right? And if, we're in March of 2022, so this becomes timeless, who knows? But think about now and go back, a year. And look what's happened to real estate, commercial real estate. You can't get it. So it was a good way to get the most prime piece of real estate, 100,000 feet, and then pick up $30 million in the process. But the interesting part is, so after we decide to do it, we're gonna bring them onto our system. And in the process, as you're learning it and you're seeing, since I wrote all the previous procedures, you're looking at it and said, man, I'm going to be able to take this procedure. I realize every procedure it improves just about. So that's how it all comes about. So no, the intent was to get a building. Instead, I got a building and I'm rewriting the entire company procedures and redoing the entire framework. But what that's going to do is position my company for the next 10 or 15 years.
It's no different than what we did, though. Like, we acquired Creating Your Space. We found some things they did well, some things they didn't do well. We took some things. We thought we were going to throw out some things. Rollmaster, same thing. Freetail, same thing. I mean, even RLM, same thing. Although there's no people, we took their support structure and how they do things. I think the hardest part, though, is like integration of, at least what we found, with cultures and merging all of that together. I mean, for us, like, we have 5 companies now that all came from different parts of the industry doing different things, and now we're all trying to be one. That's difficult whether you're a flooring company or a tech company.
I would agree, and you hit it on the head. The culture is of all the things, that's the one thing that's driving me the most crazy. That the difference in culture, and of course I love our culture, right? We have a culture of accountability. We have a culture of discipline, right? We have a culture of kicking ass. And you buy something and there's no discipline, there's no accountability. It's everyone does what they want. It's like, no. And you're probably experiencing the same thing. And you guys come from a tech background culture.
Yeah, it's just different backgrounds, different ways of running the business, different leader. I mean, each company is going to be different no matter what. There's different CEOs, right? So there's going to be a different culture. And it's not just good versus bad, right? There's some good, some bad.
But it is more, what you just said, what you hit on is really interesting, is when you have a tech culture and a different culture. When Todd acquired our company and they said unlimited vacation and pets are allowed, immediately we had 19 pit bulls in the office and German shepherds. I'm like, that doesn't work outside of New York City because everyone has a giant dog.
Wasn't there an ant farm?
There was an ant farm, pit bulls, German shepherd. I was afraid to go in the office. You didn't know if you were going to get something. You didn't know what was going to happen. Tarantulas.
You guys let dogs in the office?
My dog comes with me every now and again.
But no employees can have dogs in the office.
I mean, no one.
What level do you have to be to bring a dog to the office at American?
I mean, if someone brought their dog to the office, someone would tell them at some point during the day, don't.
What if I was a president? Could I bring my dog to the office?
Yeah, I mean, yes. But would I like it? No.
But I think what you were leading to, I mean, the fact, these mixing of this culture, what ends up happening is there's this balance that does, at some point, takes place. Like people that just can't take the change are gone. But then you find this balance of people who really appreciate this culture and people who really appreciate things about this culture. And that marriage, and when that starts to marinate, is when the real special things start to happen. I mean, that's when we started to really see, wow, when you take all this energy and all this diverse background and mix it together is when the magic really started to happen.
I don't disagree with that, but I think the challenge becomes your personality, right? And I know my personality.
How would you describe, what do you know about your personality?
I'll answer that in a minute. There's a group of people that love what we're doing. Like, it's so refreshing. And I would say it's the majority. And then you have a minority of the people who are fighting you. And instead of being happy about that we got the majority and they're happy, the minority are driving me freaking crazy. Right?
Can I just take that for 1 second? Because I felt like he was describing our business.
I 100%, I have 1,000,000% thought that's where you're going about the view of the industry on what we're doing collectively.
You have some people that are like, this is amazing. Thank you for pushing the industry forward. You have some people that just don't care, never will care, and that's fine. And then you have some people, I like to call them the flooring mafia, that change is happening and we're doing things better than the way they've been done for the last 50 years and like just aren't okay to letting that happen. And that to me has been an interesting dynamic of the industry.
It's been really interesting. Like the status quo, like there is a small group of people building a moat around the status quo, and we're hearing about it through third party. And it's really interesting because I never in a million years thought when we started this, especially, listen, when
we
Todd,
only do things the right way.
Right. When Todd came to me and said, I'm going to take 70 engineers, software developers, data scientists, and apply it to flooring, and I'm going to actually help you with the mission to help move this industry forward. In my wildest dreams that I ever envisioned the day when there'd be pushback by a couple people trying to hang on to the past, going, don't you dare change it, but that is happening.
What's interesting, though, if you were to look at the retailers generally, they all appreciate at least some fresh air coming into the industry, but there is definitely a group of people that do not want it and are, I don't know, pushing us out, but I think it's pushing the whole industry down. I mean, it's not helping anybody.
So I'll tell you a story because you really hit a great point here because I was on both sides of that, right? I was one of those people on the other side looking at what you were doing. And since I sold to you and now I'm on the inside and I know what we're doing, right? And people are just scared, right? They're scared of what you're going to do. When I owned RLM and you were doing what you were doing, and I'm sitting in my kitchen and talking with my wife, and I run a flooring company. And look, I got lucky with RLM, but that's a whole nother story. Now I'm talking to my wife. This is probably at a point where I'm frustrated.
We were battling a little bit.
A little bit.
Oh, mental warfare.
And I'm talking to my wife, and she looks me square in the eye, and she said, Todd Saunders is going to kick your ass. My own wife tells me that. No one kicks my ass when it comes to business. And I looked at her and I said, you're right, because this is what they do. Like, I sell flooring, and it's a big wake-up call. So there's all these people out there who are scared of what you're going to do because you're going to do what needs to be done.
Well, you always say it. You say what needs to be said.
Right.
We're just doing what has to be done. Like, it just has to be done. Like,
That's
you have to have integrated technology or else we all go extinct.
I agree. And so you have people that are scared of what you're going to pull off because it's potentially going to hurt some businesses that maybe they've built. Look, man, that's just part of life, right? Shouldn't stop us from the mission.
You know what? Innovation should be you are trying everything you can do to push the envelope, to put yourself, your old self, out of business and recreate your new self, and you'll always be in business. If you're afraid of a competitor or someone that's innovating, that's going to put you out, that just means you've been complacent. But I can tell you, I mean, what is shocking to me is some of the voices that are just coming out of the woodwork saying, what are you doing? You need to slow down. You need to stop. I would have never thought, because those people, we're all in the same boat. Yeah. We're all in the same industry. We're all in the same boat. And there are forces from outside the pillars of the industry that are also looking at this going, that's an opportunity. And if it's not us, it's going to be somebody from outside coming in that will change the whole game.
But what I love about what you're doing, what we're doing, is that anyone who wants to be on this train, we got open arms right now. So it's not like we're gonna kick your ass and leave you to go. It's like, come on, let's go. You want to jump on board? Let's come with us.
Why can't we all do this together and just fix the industry? Why is it all of us against each other? I mean, it's not that at all.
Yeah, our mission statement is to take the pillars of the industry that built this industry and let's do this together. In no way, sense, or form has it ever been to compete with the titans and the pillars of this industry. It's let's do this together. Let's build a platform to change ourselves and control our destiny, not to leave anybody behind. You're right. You're 100% right.